Blackburn Rovers kicking off their brand new squeaky clean season up against the Baggies at Ewood Park, and I got a West Brom fan on the line to answer all your questions and more, and he's coming at you next. Rovers Rivals video. We're back. That's right. We're the fan, a super fan from West Brom today, as of course we gear up for the visit of the Baggies. Of course, we'll get to him in a second. Of course, if you're new, where you've been, smash your subscribe and bang. All things Rovers related, Championship related, West Brom for today related. We'll talk about all of it in a second. Of course, big shout out, of course, to my VIPs. They are the patrons, of course, and I'm going to don on the earphones right here. And of course, we're going to bring in Miki Enae, of course, a familiar face to the channel. Not been on for a while, but glad to have him back. So, Miki, for the small corner of the YouTube universe, tell him a little bit about yourself and why on earth you support West Brom.
Well, firstly, thank you for having me back. It's been a very long time since I've been on the channel. But yeah, been an Albion fan now for about 21 years. Got into it when my dad took me to a first Albion game when I was about 6 years old. I think we had Barnsley back in the old First Division. Yeah. Other than that, it's like a family tradition now. Just follow the Albion, get upset most weekends.
Indeed. And they made a bit of slow start in the transfer market, but have been picking up over the past couple of days. So what do you make of the recent additions to the Baggies this summer?
I think recently with Jeremy Sarmiento and Josh Madger, I think those are both really good. I can't complain at all. I think both of them have like a creative flair, a little spark. At the beginning, it was slow, very slow, but I think that's what we had to acknowledge with Albion, that we don't have the money. We don't have funds where we can pay millions of pounds for players. But yeah, I think we grew into the market. I'm pretty sure Carlos wants the two more in as well, which Sori Kaba is one that's been talked about a lot recently, and Lewis O'Brien as well. But I'm happy with what we have right now. I do think that we are missing maybe one or two players before the end of the window.
One or two, yeah. Lewis O'Brien, a name that's familiar with Rovers fans that we didn't get over the line in January, so we'll be very jealous if you could manage that one. You touched on it a little bit there, the financial condition of the club. What are your current feelings about West Brom heading into this brand new season?
It's the same as it has always been the past 2 seasons, 3 seasons, if not longer. Like, the owner, Lies, just hasn't done he hasn't done anything for the club. He's taken money, it's not gave it us back. There's been a guy, I can't remember his name now, but he was interested in a takeover for 60 million, which I think anyone taking over the club and is willing to take over the debt, wants to save the stadium instead of selling it for assets would be brilliant. But yeah, the finances have just been a shambles. There's nothing good about it at all. It's like a sinking ship. The only good thing is right now is that we've got a good manager who's in place. He's brought in 2 good players right now. The season doesn't look as bleak as it was about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I was kind of comparing West Brom and Rovers in a similar sort of vein. Like, we not seem to be spending any money at the moment on any players. Our transfer activity kind of slowed down to a stop. From an outside point of view, taking a look at Blackburn Rovers, what is your initial feeling towards the match? And of course, you touched on it on a tweet about Kaminsky and all these other kind of things. You know, has that move or the potential of that move come at the right time for a West Brom fan?
I would say so. I kind of feel if this was last season when you had Diaz, it's a different story. That guy was ridiculously good for you as well. Bradley Dack, I don't think has been replaced. I feel Kaminsky. The thing is, Luton wanted Alex Palmer about a week ago, and I think they put an offer like 2.5 million. And I think Carlos Corberan himself kind of stopped the move. So with that being said, I think they've now gone off the idea of signing our keeper and then gone to Kaminsky from you. I think if he leaves before Saturday, there could be trouble. But again, like, do Blackburn not play in risk of injury or risk of anything that the deal won't go through? But from an Albion point of view, from my point of view, are you not to play Kaminsky and not really to replace Diaz? To what I know of, I think for me as well, I haven't saw transfer activity on Blackburn's part. Like, there's not been a transfer that's been blown up on Twitter. Like, no one's gassed up about any transfers of late for Blackburn, but losing Diaz, Dak, maybe Kaminsky, I think that's a tough ass. It's tough ass to replace players like that, especially in the Championship as well.
Yeah, I think the Kaminsky deal will happen before the weekend, so he will be gone. And we ended the season with someone else in goal anyway. So, well, yeah, it's a little concerning long term, but I think, hopefully we've got a backup plan for the long term. But I don't see Kaminsky being in goal. Anyway, let's get a magic wand and gave you the permission to pick the West Bromwich Albion starting 11 from the keeper all the way through to the forwards. What would you pick for the opening game on Saturday?
I personally think it would be almost the same formation, same lineup that Carlos himself would go with. I think you'd have Palmer in goal. I think that's a no-brainer. I think your back four would be Connor on the left, Furlong on the right. The middle two, I don't know if you'd go with Bartley because of stability and that's what he knows. But I'm a massive fan of Caleb Taylor. I think he had a brilliant season last season in League One with Cheltenham, and he was very much praised as well last season. But I don't know if the step up to League One to the Championship is massive. I wish that we had Dara still. I think Caleb would have benefited so much at the back with playing next to Dara. But in the back four, maybe you'd go with. I reckon you'd go with the Giant and Bartley. But we'll go with that with the back four. Obviously, your Costler and Mulumby would be the two pivot as the defensive midfielders. And then you'd have three behind Brandon Asante even as a striker. I think the three behind Asante would be Wallace, Swift, and possibly Sarmiento. And I'd like Madja involved. My ideal, if I had a magic wand, I'd have Asante, Wallace, Madja, Sarmiento, but I don't think Madja has been at the club long enough, as he only signed yesterday, for Carlos to play him. And I don't think Sarmiento is fit either. I have to go on loan from Brighton, but yeah, I'll take Sarmiento, Madja, Wallace, and Santa.
Well, it's quite a tasty trio up there to cause some problems for Rovers. And I've been listening to different kinds of points of view about West Brom. Some have you having a good season, some have a bad season, some indifferent. Where do you sit? Where do you think the Baggies will finish at the end of this campaign?
I think realistically, anywhere around 10th or top 10 would be ideal for us. But for me, if we look at last season, I'm pretty sure after 17 games, we was bottom of the table. Bringing Carlos Corberán with almost the exact same team that we've got now, and he puts us into a playoff contention. Do you know what I mean? So I kind of feel if we had Carlos Corberán from the start of last season, we would have been in the playoffs. I feel the team's not massively different. I think we've lost Dara, which is quite big. Quite big defensively for us, but we have brought in extra attackers, and we haven't lost anybody else. Do you know what I mean? Nobody else have that's really benefited us last season. So I think realistically we should be looking at 10th, but ideally I would like us to push for playoffs. I think we got a good team, good manager. It wouldn't surprise me if we ended up in the top 6.
Yeah, I agree. I think you've got a good coach. Quite lucky. I mean, to have such quality in midfield anyway. I think you're spoiled for choice in certain areas. And if I'm going to push you for a scoreline, opening day, Rovers, West Brom, what have you got for that one?
I would love us to, and I think I think we went to Ewood Park 2 seasons ago. I think it was, or last season. It was 2 seasons ago. I think our first away game. Did we? I think we won 2-1. I remember Alex Smoke screamer. Did with the box, nice little volley. But yeah, realistically, I think it might be a 1-1 draw. I can't lie, but I'm hoping for a 2-1. I really am. I'm hoping for not to be. I'm hoping for at least a point, but mainly I want to see Major Sarmiento get some minutes. A point about Blackburn as well. It's not a bad result, to be fair. Blackburn are a good team at home.
We can be. We'll see. We'll see how we all start. Of course, opening day nerves. But Miki, I appreciate your points of view on West Brom, and hopefully we'll catch up with you. I don't know, a few months down the road when we come back around to your place. But I appreciate your time, and of course, we'll see if your prediction is right. Well, thanks again, Miki, for joining us, of course, and thanks again for you guys for stopping by. Of course, if you're new, check out the links down below. I'm on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, of course, we've even got a Discord, but most importantly, subscribe and, of course, bang that thumbs up. If you are a fan of another team that's, of course, going to play Blackburn Rovers this season, let me know in the comments down below, because you could be just like Miki and be on the show next time around. But that, my friends, is what we've got for you today, and, of course, hopefully you enjoyed it. Again, smash the old thumbs up, just like over there, of course, and, of course, I'll see you back for some extensive coverage once again as we build up to kickoff up against West Brom. That is it, guys. Until then, tap out. See you later. I'm off.